Good morning, I'm Paula from Chic Emporium, and today I'm going to show you how to paint fabric using chalk paint. Now this has actually already been painted once before and it's quite old and it's got quite mucky and dirty, and I thought I'd do a transformation on it today to show you the process. So these are the things that we need for the job: chalk paint, and I've chosen mineral, which is a bright pink because I've got a bright pink till and I thought it would go really cool with it. Beeswax, thing of spray for water, and then I've decided that I'm probably going to stamp it afterwards using an IOD stamp. So I've got a stays on ink pad so that it won't smudge, and of course I've got my vintage brush, which are the most amazing brushes to use. So all you do to start with is dampen your fabric just a little bit. Give it a couple of moments to fade in, and then I'm going to decant some of my mineral, look at that colour, into a pot and add some water to it just to dilute it a bit like squash quantities. So what would be water is the pink paint, and what would be the squash is the amount of water, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll get our first coat on, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Yep. So as you can see, I've just put this kind of watered down, this is the first coat, and it is going to take more than your normal amount of coats because I've watered it down, but it seems to give a more lasted sort of leathery look when you finish, so I think it's worth the effort, and obviously it's not a massive piece anyway. So that's all I'm doing is brushing it on like you would paint a bit of furniture. You've got to make sure you get into all the crevices, otherwise it will show. So I'll come back once I've finished the whole first coat and then show you what we do next. Right, so all I've done is dry it off with a hairdryer, and now I'm just using the beeswax to give it a coat all over. This is the secret ingredient, if you like. It's not very secret, but it's what keeps it supple, stops the paint from cracking. So you put a layer of this wax in between each layer of your paint, and then you finish with wax. So you can see it's slightly changing the colour. There's still quite a lot of the old colour showing through because it was a diluted coat of paint, but this is the process. So as soon as I finish this, I don't wait for the wax to go hard or go off like you would on a piece of furniture. I'll crack straight on and put the next coat of paint on the top, the same diluted paint, and we'll carry on with that process. So I'll show you in between the layers kind of how it's building up. See you back in a bit. Right, so this is the second coat on. As you can see, it's starting to take the colour, and I'm going to put again, I've just dried it with a hairdryer, so I'm putting another coat of this gorgeous wax over the top. Now I really would recommend putting the wax in this occasion on with some kind of buffing rag or t-shirt or something, not a brush, because you don't want it to go on too thickly. You need to spread it out, and brushes tend, for me anyway, tend to go on quite thick. So I shall continue. As soon as I finish this coat, I shall put the next coat of paint on, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Right, this is just a quick check-in to show you where I'm at. I missed one layer, so this is 4 layers done now. So as you can see, we're really close to getting there. I think it probably needs another one, maybe another 1.5. But again, I'm just putting wax and spreading it out as thinly as possible in between each layer. So I'm not going to show you any more now until it's finished in paint, so I'm just going to keep working on it until I really feel that it's a perfect look. You can tell when it looks done and there's no sort of colour showing through underneath. So I shall carry on, and then I'll show you when we get to the decorating stage. Right, so I'm at my last-ish stage now. It still looks a bit patchy, I expect, from the camera, but that's because I haven't put the last coat of wax on, because I'm going to do stamping first, and you don't do the stamping on top of the wax. So that will all pull together and look even once I put the last coat of wax on. So I'm going to use this Stays On ink. It doesn't smudge, so you can use it on fabric and or on furniture. And I've chosen this little layout, which comes from the Laurel IOD stamp, and I've got a little random bee that I'm going to put there. So that's the kind of positioning that I want, and because I'm obviously on a soft bendy surface, I'm not going to use it on the block. I'm just going to use it freehand. Now I've not done it on a curved surface before, so I've no idea how well this is going to come out. But as with all these things, if it goes wrong, worst scenario, I'll paint straight over it. So you've got to give these things a go. So I've literally placed it down and I'm stamping it up, giving it quite a generous coat, making sure all the sticky out bits are loaded up. This is called stone grey, so it's not quite as in your face as black. I prefer it. So then I'm just going to place it carefully where I want it and commit. Obviously you can't move it once it's down, and then holding it in place, just tickle down, pushing quite hard to be fair, because I've got a surface that wants to move. Okay, I'll see how well that comes out. Let's go for it. Oh, not bad at all. Right, I'll let you just watch the last bits me doing, and I'll speed it up so you don't have to hear me chatter on, but you can watch me build it up. So I'm now just finishing off, and as you can see, this little arm here, the colours all joining into the same colour. You can't see the streakiness anymore. I've gone straight over my stamping, and it's literally a minute since I stamped it, so no smudging at all, which is great. So that's it. I'm going to give it one really good coat. This will be the generous coat, and then obviously I don't want to sit on it straight away. I will leave it a few days for the wax to properly soak in and go off. So I'll just show you the finished thing when I finish waxing. See you in a minute. Right, so it's all done. Look at it, it's amazing. I love mineral. The stamping I think just finishes it off. The wax has given it a lovely feel and a sheen. It needs a day or so to go off and not be sticky, so I won't be sitting on it, as I said. Now matches my till perfectly. And all I have to do really to maintain and upkeep it is every now and again give it another coat of wax, and it'll bring it back to nice and supple and lovely. You'd never know it was painted. Fab. Have a go at this technique. It's brilliant. It will transform something overnight. Thanks for watching. Until the next time.